Welcome to our comprehensive guide on understanding the different types of depression. You know, in my line of work, I've seen firsthand the devastating impact depression can have on individuals and their families. It's not a one-size-fits-all kind of deal. Depression is a complex mental health condition that can manifest in various forms, each with its own set of symptoms, causes, and treatment approaches. In this video, we're going to break down these different types so you can have a better understanding of what you or someone you love might be going through. Now, let's talk about major depressive disorder, or MDD. This is what most people think of when they hear the word depression. And let me tell you, it's more than just feeling blue. We're talking about persistent feelings of sadness, hopelessness, and a lack of interest or pleasure in activities you used to enjoy. This isn't a bad day or a rough week. For MDD, these symptoms have to stick around for at least 2 weeks straight. You might have trouble sleeping, changes in appetite, low energy, difficulty concentrating. The list goes on. And listen, if you're experiencing these things, it's not a sign of weakness. It's a real medical condition that needs attention, just like any other health problem. The good news is, with the right treatment, you can get better. We're talking about therapy, maybe medication, and some lifestyle changes that can make a world of difference. Now, let's talk about persistent depressive disorder, or PDD. Think of it like this. If major depression is like a punch to the gut, PDD is a constant ache that lingers for years. It's a chronic form of depression where the symptoms might not be as intense as MDD, but they stick around for much longer. We're talking at least 2 years in adults. People with PDD might feel down, lose interest in things they used to enjoy, and have low energy. They might struggle with feelings of hopelessness or have a hard time making decisions. The thing about PDD is, people can get so used to feeling this way that they don't even realize they're depressed. They might think, "This is just who I am," but trust me, it doesn't have to be this way. Treatment for PDD is similar to MDD, but because it's chronic, it often requires a longer-term approach. We're talking therapy, medication, and lifestyle changes that need to be incorporated into your daily life for the long haul. Now, let's dive into bipolar disorder. This one is characterized by extreme shifts in mood, swinging from periods of intense highs, known as mania or hypomania, to deep lows of depression. And these mood swings can be dramatic and unpredictable, wreaking havoc on a person's life. During a manic episode, someone with bipolar disorder might feel euphoric and invincible. They might have boundless energy, racing thoughts, and engage in risky behaviors. But then comes the crash, the depressive episode. And when that hits, they experience the same crushing symptoms of depression that we talked about earlier. Now, managing bipolar disorder is a lifelong journey. It often involves a combination of medications like mood stabilizers and antipsychotics, along with therapy and lifestyle changes to help regulate moods and prevent those extreme swings. Let's talk about seasonal affective disorder, or SAD. This type of depression is like clockwork. It hits people when the seasons change, usually in the fall and winter months when there's less sunlight. And let me tell you, it's more than just the winter blues. People with SAD experience fatigue, low energy, changes in appetite, often craving carbs, difficulty sleeping, and a general sense of hopelessness. Now, the exact cause of SAD isn't fully understood, but it's believed to be related to disruptions in the body's natural sleep-wake cycle, and a decrease in serotonin levels, which are linked to mood regulation. The good news is, treatment for SAD can be as simple as getting more sunlight. Light therapy, where you sit in front of a special light box for a certain amount of time each day, can be incredibly effective. Of course, other treatments like therapy, antidepressants, and lifestyle changes can also be helpful. Now, let's address postpartum depression, or PPD. This one affects women after childbirth, and let me tell you, it's a lot more intense and long-lasting than the baby blues that many new mothers experience. We're talking about extreme sadness, anxiety, exhaustion, and even difficulty bonding with the baby. And this can be incredibly isolating and overwhelming for new mothers. Now, hormonal changes after delivery are thought to play a significant role in PPD. But other factors like sleep deprivation, adjustments to motherhood, and a history of depression can also contribute. It's crucial for women experiencing PPD to know that they're not alone and that help is available. Treatment typically involves therapy, medication, support groups, and lifestyle changes to help manage the symptoms and support their overall well-being. Now, let's shed some light on premenstrual dysphoric disorder, or PMDD. This is a severe form of premenstrual syndrome, or PMS, that causes significant emotional and physical symptoms in the week or two leading up to a woman's period. We're talking about intense mood swings, irritability, anger, anxiety, depression, bloating, and breast tenderness. It's like PMS on steroids. Now, the exact cause of PMDD is still being researched, but it's believed to be linked to the body's sensitivity to hormonal changes during the menstrual cycle. Treatment for PMDD often involves a combination of approaches, including hormonal treatments like birth control pills, antidepressants, lifestyle changes, and dietary adjustments. Now, let's talk about atypical depression. This one is a subtype of major depressive disorder, but it comes with its own unique set of symptoms. While people with typical depression often experience loss of appetite and insomnia, those with atypical depression might find themselves eating and sleeping more than usual. They might also feel a heavy sensation in their limbs, a heightened sensitivity to rejection, and mood reactivity, meaning their mood temporarily improves in response to positive events. Treatment for atypical depression typically involves antidepressants, particularly a class known as MAOIs, along with therapy and lifestyle changes. Now, let's talk about a severe form of depression, psychotic depression. This occurs when someone with major depression also experiences psychosis, which is a break from reality. We're talking about hallucinations, where they see, hear, smell, taste, or feel things that aren't really there, and delusions, which are false beliefs that they hold on to even when presented with evidence to the contrary. Psychotic depression is a serious condition that requires immediate medical attention. Treatment typically involves a combination of antidepressants and antipsychotic medications, and often hospitalization is required to ensure the person's safety and provide intensive care. Let's talk about situational depression, also known as adjustment disorder with depressed mood. This type of depression is triggered by a specific stressful event or situation in a person's life. We're talking about things like the death of a loved one, a job loss, a relationship breakup, a serious illness, or a natural disaster. Now, It's perfectly normal to feel sad, anxious, or overwhelmed after a difficult experience, but with situational depression, these feelings are intense, persistent, and interfere with a person's ability to function in their daily life. Treatment for situational depression typically involves therapy to help the person process the event, develop coping mechanisms, and adjust to the changes in their life. Now, let's talk about treatment-resistant depression. This is the most challenging type of depression to treat. It occurs when a person's depression doesn't improve, even after trying several different treatments. Can you imagine the frustration and hopelessness that comes with that? It's like trying every key on the keychain and still not being able to unlock the door. But even in these cases, there is still hope. Treatment-resistant depression requires a more specialized approach, often involving advanced options like electroconvulsive therapy, transcranial magnetic stimulation, ketamine therapy, or a combination of medications and therapy tailored to the individual's specific needs. It's important to remember that even when depression feels insurmountable, there are always options to explore and reasons to hold on to hope. Each type of depression requires a tailored approach to treatment, often involving a combination of psychotherapy medications, lifestyle changes, and support systems. The first step is to talk to a medical professional. Let's be clear, there is no shame in seeking help. In fact, it's the strongest thing you can do for yourself. Understanding the specific type of depression you or a loved one may be facing is crucial for effective treatment and management. Remember, you don't have to go through this alone. Thank you for watching, and remember, help is available. Reach out to a mental health professional if you or someone you know is struggling with depression. You deserve to live a full and happy life.